No one saw it coming.
2 decades ago, a quiet engineer from Zimbabwe began building machines that defied the known laws of physics.
His name was Maxwell Chikumbutso.
To most of the world, he was just another ambitious inventor. But inside a small workshop in Harare, he was allegedly harnessing energy from the air itself. They said his devices ran without fuel, without plugs, without any visible power source. He called it radio frequency power conversion, RF energy that could be captured, converted, and used to run engines.
At first, almost no one believed him. Scientists dismissed his claims as fantasy. But then strange demonstrations began to surface online.
Videos appeared showing vehicles moving silently, lights flickering on in rural villages without any connection to a grid. Whispers spread through tech circles. Maxwell had built a car that needed no charging, no gas, no batteries. If true, it would shatter the foundation of the global energy industry. And that was exactly when the trail around him began to blur. One by one, news reports that once featured his inventions started disappearing.
Archived websites went blank.
Social media posts were removed. People who had visited his workshop claimed they were told not to speak publicly about what they had seen. It all sounded like the beginning of a legend until recently, when something new began circulating through encrypted tech forums.
Documents, screenshots, and quietly leaked videos suggesting that Maxwell's RF-powered car might finally be leaving Africa. That, somehow, it could now be imported. No official company announcement. No trade show reveal. Just a trickle of rumors so consistent, so detailed, that investigators started paying attention. Some say the trail leads back to 2024, when a private logistics company operating out of Dubai filed a mysterious customs request. The paperwork mentioned self-charging mobility units classified under experimental energy vehicles. No brand name, no VIN sequence, only coordinates for a shipment originating near Johannesburg. Experts who examined the leaked forms noticed an unusual clause, non-combustive radio frequency propulsion assembly. To anyone else, it might have seemed meaningless. But to those who remembered Maxwell Chikumbutso, it was a signal. For years, his company, Seth Technologies, had been developing prototypes that supposedly used the surrounding electromagnetic spectrum to sustain motion. The principle was simple on paper and impossible in practice. If you could collect scattered radio waves, Wi-Fi signals, and ambient EM radiation, convert them into direct current, and amplify the feedback, you could create a perpetual energy loop. Physicists said it violated thermodynamics. Maxwell said he'd already done it.
He even built a house that powered itself, and a helicopter that ran without aviation fuel.
The Zimbabwean government reportedly visited his site in 2015.
Officials smiled for the cameras, promised support, and then vanished from the story. Funding offers came from investors overseas, but none of the deals ever seemed to close. Some insiders believe he refused them.
Others think he was forced to stop.
Then, around 2017, rumors surfaced that he had left the country.
Unconfirmed sightings placed him in South Africa, then Nigeria, later the United States. Every time a journalist tried to track him down, the trail went cold.
Yet the idea of his RF technology refused to die. It lived quietly in forums, in YouTube archives, in hushed conversations at renewable energy conferences.
The question everyone asked was the same: if it really worked, why was it hidden?
And now, 8 years later, whispers say the invention has resurfaced, commercially. According to one leak, a small shipment of vehicles matching Maxwell's earlier blueprints has already reached a testing facility in Nevada. The source claims they arrived under diplomatic exemption, labeled as educational research equipment.
No one in official channels will confirm it, but satellite images reveal 3 enclosed containers unloaded near a private runway outside Reno.
Within a week, the containers were gone. Investigators tracing import databases found placeholder records erased from the public ledger.
It was as if someone wanted the shipment invisible, but not destroyed.
Meanwhile, an independent engineer from California claimed to have seen one of the prototypes up close. He described a sleek, compact SUV with no exhaust, no visible charging port, and a dashboard diagnostic labeled RF harvest status.
He refused to share photos, citing legal threats.
But he insisted that what he saw did not behave like any electric vehicle currently in production.
If that's true, then Maxwell's car may not just exist, it may already be in testing on American soil. And that raises another question: who authorized its import? Neither the Department of Energy nor Customs and Border Protection will comment. The Zimbabwean authorities, when contacted, stated that no export licenses had been issued for experimental automotive technology. Yet the paperwork leaks keep surfacing, each batch more detailed than the last.
One document dated March 2025 lists a vehicle model coded MRF01, destination private evaluation, North America, and manufacturer field marked Seth Technologies, defunct.
Another internal memo from a logistics partner references RF powertrain isolation for atmospheric interference compliance. These aren't the words of conspiracy theorists. They're the language of engineers. And if even half of it is accurate, it suggests that the impossible might finally be entering reality.
Still, the real mystery is why now? For almost 10 years, the world heard almost nothing from Maxwell Chikumbutso. He gave no interviews. He issued no patents. He appeared only once, in a 2020 podcast, where he spoke vaguely about energy independence and the next frontier of freedom.
Then silence. So why, in late 2025, would his name suddenly return in shipping manifests, whispered among defense analysts and green tech investors alike?
Some point to the growing pressure on oil markets and the desperate race for zero-emission breakthroughs.
Others think private defense contractors are experimenting with RF systems for long-range drones.
And a few quietly suggest that Maxwell might be back, operating from the shadows under a new company name. Whatever the truth is, the evidence is mounting that something tied to his original designs is moving again. A few months ago, an independent journalist from Nairobi claimed to have obtained an email chain linking Seth Technologies to a foreign renewable energy consortium. The emails referenced RF mobility prototypes and limited import under research partnership terms.
No one could verify their authenticity, but the timestamps lined up with the alleged Nevada shipment. The journalist disappeared from social media 2 weeks later.
Her accounts were wiped, her articles taken down. All that remains is a PDF mirror of her post, archived by followers who believe she got too close.
That document mentions an American-based intermediary known only as Helios Dynamics.
The company has no physical office, only a website registered through a privacy proxy in Delaware.
Its listed CEO doesn't exist in any corporate database.
Yet its supposed mission, to accelerate self-sustaining propulsion technologies, sounds eerily familiar.
Could Helios Dynamics be a shell company created to reintroduce Maxwell's invention under a different banner? Some insiders think so.
Others argue it's a coincidence that the RF terminology has become trendy among clean energy startups.
But there's one detail that continues to fuel speculation.
The alleged vehicles arriving from Africa carry a unique circuit emblem identical to the logo Maxwell used on his early prototypes, a stylized M fused with a lightning arc. That design was never trademarked, but anyone who followed his work recognizes it instantly.
It's his signature, subtle, intentional, defiant.
If those containers in Nevada bore that mark, then the connection isn't rumor anymore.
It's traceable. The deeper you look, the more anomalies appear. Patent filings across multiple countries reference ambient RF conversion modules.
Most are listed under anonymous inventors, filed within the past 2 years.
When cross-checked, the schematics share identical circuit geometries to Maxwell's 2015 blueprint.
Same architecture, same resonant feedback loop.
Whoever filed them either reverse-engineered his work,
or is Maxwell himself operating under new names. A few industry veterans believe he partnered quietly with tech investors frustrated by the slow pace of renewable innovation.
If that's true, then the rumor of imports might mark the beginning of a stealth rollout.
A field test under real-world conditions, disguised as a research evaluation. Imagine a car that never needs to stop for fuel or charging.
Imagine the disruption to oil, lithium mining, and even power grid infrastructure. The global implications would be enormous. Perhaps too enormous to announce openly.
There's precedent for this kind of quiet transition. Throughout history, disruptive technologies have often entered the market in disguise, first as prototypes, then as limited research units, and finally as mainstream consumer products once regulation catches up.
The same could be happening here.
One internal memo leaked from a logistics warehouse in Rotterdam mentions a batch of EM free-flow propulsion units being prepared for intercontinental shipment.
The destination code, NA1795. Analysts believe NA stands for North America. And if that's accurate, the RF car might not be coming, it might already be here.
Satellite trackers who monitor industrial cargo have identified at least 2 shipments matching that description arriving through the port of Los Angeles in July 2025. Both shipments were handled by a customs broker with military clearance.
No commercial recipient listed.
When reporters tried to question the port authority, they were told the data was classified under energy technology transfer protocols.
That response raised more questions than it answered. Energy technology transfer? Between whom? And why the secrecy over what's allegedly just a research vehicle? Those who've studied Maxwell's history say this isn't new.
Every time his work neared public visibility, it seemed to vanish behind official curtains.
In 2016, he demonstrated his self-powering generator for engineers from a South African university.
The event was recorded, but the footage was removed from YouTube within weeks due to copyright claims.
No one ever re-uploaded it.
Yet those who attended swear they saw an LED array remain lit even after every visible cable was detached.
If that demonstration was genuine, the implications are staggering. But if it wasn't, then the current rumors are nothing more than a reawakened myth.
And that's what makes this story so haunting. There's never enough proof to dismiss it, and never enough to confirm it. Still, the new import reports feel different. They include physical details, logistic chains, and even preliminary driving data allegedly leaked from a Nevada testing ground. One report shows telemetry logs with zero net energy input during a 3-hour road cycle.
The only measurable draw came from onboard electronics.
The propulsion system recorded no depletion.
To skeptics, that suggests measurement error. To believers, it's proof of a revolution.
Around the same time, an anonymous whistleblower posted on an encrypted channel claiming to work for a US-based automotive certification lab. He wrote that his team had evaluated a vehicle with unconventional power sourcing via RF capture, but that results were sealed by higher management. He deleted his account within 48 hours.
No one's been able to trace him since. Meanwhile, the rumor of importability gained traction when a grey market dealer in Kenya advertised limited allocation of RF mobility units available under private transfer. The listing was removed almost immediately, but screenshots went viral.
The ad included a phone number with a US country code.
Attempts to dial it returned a robotic message, "This line is restricted."
The mystery deepened when a supposed buyer claimed to have placed a pre-order deposit.
He said he was promised delivery within 3 months, pending customs approval.
He even shared a receipt referencing Seth or One Mobility platform.
The signature block? Helios Dynamics. If that receipt is authentic, then Helios may be acting as the distribution arm for Maxwell's revived company. But where is Maxwell himself?
In September 2025, an image surfaced on a private social network showing a man resembling him standing beside a covered vehicle at an undisclosed location.
Metadata traced the photo to New Mexico.
Within hours, the account that posted it was deleted. Still, the image spread fast enough that AI facial analysis confirmed an 88% match to Maxwell's features. That's not proof, but it's close enough to stir speculation that he's in the United States, overseeing early testing. If he truly managed to import his RF car into American territory, he's achieved something no independent African inventor has done before: introduce a technology that could rewrite energy economics from the ground up. But with that success comes danger. Sources close to his earlier collaborators in Harare claim that several received unexpected visits from foreign representatives inquiring about technical documents.
Afterward, most refused to discuss the topic again. One described it only as pressure to forget.
And so the legend keeps growing, fueled by fragments, redacted reports, and blurry photos. Each leak adds another piece to the puzzle, but the full picture remains hidden. Some tech insiders are calling it the RF re-emergence. They believe the rumors are part of a deliberate soft launch campaign, a way to test global reaction before any official unveiling.
If true, the plan is brilliant.
Keep it underground long enough for curiosity to build, then strike when attention peaks.
But others fear it's a bait.
That the technology is being appropriated by corporate or military interests before the public ever sees it. If history is any guide, inventions that threaten existing power structures rarely surface unchanged. And that makes the idea of private imports even more volatile.
Imagine thousands of independent users driving vehicles powered by ambient energy.
No gas, no grid, no revenue for energy giants. It's both a dream and a nightmare, depending on who you ask. That's why, as the rumors spread, so do attempts to discredit them.
Fact-checkers label them unverified. Scientists demand empirical data.
And still, the leaks keep coming.
Each one more precise than the last.